what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Britt Johnson. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Before you do anything else, make sure you like this video, you click subscribe. Most importantly, you join my notification gang so you know when I upload a new video or when I go live on my channel. This video is sponsored by Bovada. If you want a piece of the action during football season, make sure you check out Bovada for the best props and odds in the games. You also don't want to miss my 10 bold predictions for the upcoming NFL season, which is now here. We just had week 1. I'll put a link in the description below. If you want to go check out that video and see if you agree or disagree with my picks, and then obviously let me know your favorite bold prediction, that would be great. Just let me know in the comments below. Now we are going to get into our week 2 power rankings. We just finished week 1 of the NFL season. I'm so glad football is back. Are you guys? Like, this is amazing. And I know only 2 teams, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jags, had fans in the stands for this first week. We're going to see more fans in the stands as the weeks progress. Some teams are not doing fans for the month of September. Some are going to be doing them week 2 like the Dallas Cowboys are supposed to. So it should be more exciting and more exciting as the weeks progress. But we have some surprises for these power rankings. There's some teams that I did not think would actually have a great week 1, and they surprised me. So let's get into those. I'm going to tell you guys the top 5 power rankings for the week 2 of the NFL season, starting now. So number 5, this team actually is going to be my biggest surprise because going into week 1, I had them at 20. So I didn't really think that they were going to perform very well, just because they are a young team. They're a new team, but here we are. The Arizona Cardinals. I thought it would take for sure a few weeks for Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins to kind of, gel together and build some chemistry, especially since we didn't have preseason this year. But, I mean, they look like they'd been playing together for years, which is great for them. Unfortunately, not so good for the 49ers, who I think are a great team, but they did not look like a great team against what the Arizona Cardinals did. Yes, it was still a close game, but I just kind of had the 49ers a little up here, and I had, at least for the first few weeks, the Arizona Cardinals down here, but they looked really, really good. So I'm actually going to give them my number 5 for power rankings going into week 2. I'm excited to see what they have coming. I think it wasn't just a fluke or accident that these players gelled together so well and played so well together. I think we're going to consistently see them get better and better throughout the season. Great pickup for the Arizona Cardinals trading to get DeAndre Hopkins because it's looking good so far. Kyler Murray looked great as well. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what they have in store moving forward. Now we're going to get into my number 4. My number 4 power ranking is somebody that I think the rest of them are pretty much where that I thought that they were going to be going into this season. My number 5 obviously was a huge jump from being 20 last week to now number 5. Number 4, this is a team that I thought they were going to come out guns a-blazing, and they did. It is going to be the Seattle Seahawks, who played on the road for week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. No fans in the stands, which was great for them. Pete Carroll actually said it was good because they were on the road and they didn't have to deal with, the home field advantage that the Falcons would have gotten with their crowd. We know Seahawks always talk about the 12th man and how much it helps them in, drowning out, snap counts and stuff for other teams. And they're just so loud and stuff like that for their home games that they're labeled the 12th man for a reason. They didn't have fans in the stands. It worked out well for Seattle, who said that, it literally felt just like nobody had the upper hand and nobody had an advantage. Obviously, when Seattle goes back home, they're going to not like that there's no fans in the stands. I know Seattle's not going to have fans in the stands for, I believe, the first 3 home games at CenturyLink. But yeah, I think they looked great. Russ looked great. He looked even better than I think he ended the season. We all know they lost in wild card round last year in the playoffs, and I think they played great. I would put them as an early contender for Super Bowl this year as well. I think they looked amazing, so I'm going to put them at number 4. because they looked good in the air, on the ground, defensively with guys like Bobby Wagner and stuff. I think it's going to be a solid team this year. Number 3, again, another team sitting where I thought they were going to be sitting, is the Baltimore Ravens. During the regular season last year, they were the best team on the field. They were great. Lamar Jackson won NFL MVP. Obviously, he's a Madden cover. People for this Madden 21, but people thought, okay, now your Madden cover, is the Madden curse going to get him? I said it wasn't going to get him because I think that team is going to do whatever they can to make sure that they stick behind Lamar Jackson and make him be as successful as they can. And I think it showed in the game. I think everybody looked good. It was a little, I think this was a good game for them. Obviously, they were playing the Browns. It was kind of like, oh, this is a practice game, whatever. But it's a moment to really focus on building that confidence back, because we all remember how their preseason game ended with the Titans, and how we kind of thought they were going, who knew the Titans would be in the AFC Championship, first of all. But to see how the Ravens played terribly in that game. Derrick Henry literally was all over the place on them. They played terrible, and Lamar Jackson got a lot of negative backlash from that game. People were like, oh, should he even been MVP and this, that, and the third, and yada, 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 and all this kind of stuff. So I think this was a great game for him to kind of go out there, build some more confidence. I think he'll have a great season this year. Week 2 is going to be even better. So he's number 3 spot for my power rankings. And number 2, pretty simple. I know actually most of you guys probably have this team in the number 1 spot, but they're my number 2 team, and it is the defending Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. They looked good on Thursday, but I think they looked good because I think the Texans were not prepared. I think Deshaun Watson is trying to figure out who he's going to be throwing the ball to now that DeAndre Hopkins is gone. So I think it's, a lot of trials with that team. So as much as the Chiefs looked good, I think it's just because the Texans looked bad, and they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do. Watson has to find his new favorite guy to throw to, because it was Hopkins before and he's gone now. And, he had the best receiver in the league, arguably, and now he doesn't. So, and now they have a ton of running backs on their team, and they're trying to figure out all this, that, and the third with that squad. So I think it was more the Texans trying to still figure stuff out. Like, this was like a preseason moment for them than it was the Chiefs actually looking and being the greatest. So that's why they get my number 2 spot instead of number 1. My number 1 power rankings going into week 2 is going to have to be the New Orleans Saints. Who dat nation? Where y'all at? You guys are killing it. I'm like low-key jealous, because this team is definitely a favorite for the Super Bowl this season. This week was a big week for them because they are in the NFC South. They have won 3 consecutive NFC South divisional titles, and then Tom Brady decides to join the NFC South with the Tampa Bay Bucks. This ends up being the week 1 game, the Bucks and the Saints. So I think it was just like, okay, y'all want to come in and see if you guys want to take over this NFC South? I think not. The Saints, I think, are on both sides of the ball the most complete team in the NFL, period. They looked great. They have, say some situation happens, Drew Brees gets hurt again, just like last year when Teddy Bridgewater had to come in. I think Jameis Winston's going to be able to come in and play well as well. And I think the biggest reason why this team looked so good this week is because they made sure they paid their players before the game started. So we know guys like Alvin Kamara got that extension that he was looking for, and that people, there was a lot of talks about them possibly trading him and this, that, and the third, but they ended up getting him paid before the game. And I think once game started, everybody is now calm, cool, collected. They all know they got their money, and they can move forward and play with confidence and with ease and not worry about things like that. So I think the franchise did a really good job before kickoff started on week 1, that they made sure they paid the guys that they needed to pay, and they played well because of it. So the Saints are definitely the team to beat, and they are number 1 spot in my power rankings for this week. So that is going to be it for my top 5 power rankings going into week 2 of the NFL season. I am so excited. NFL season's back. I know you guys are too. Make sure you click the link here to go watch my top 10 bold predictions for the NFL season and let me know if you agree or disagree with my selections. Thanks again to Bovada for sponsoring this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'm your host, Britt Johnson. Make sure you like this video, click subscribe, click that link, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!